Welcome to the Runna Podcast. I'm Coach Anya, an international marathon runner.
And I'm Coach Ben, and one of the co-founders of Runna.
Each week we'll be deep diving into the world of running, speaking to some inspiring individuals about their running journeys.
Runna is the #1 rated running coaching service worldwide. We help hundreds of thousands of people all over the world train for any running goal. And if you want to try out Runna for free, you can try it out using the code Runna Podcast, all one word, to get 2 weeks of free access to the Runna app.
Today on the podcast, we have Steph Joshi, who is well known for sharing her fitness journey on YouTube and Instagram. She started off at the gym and has progressed on to doing some crazy challenges, which she's documented, and now does Ironman and is training for the Ironman World Championships. Really looking forward to this episode. Hi, Steph. How are you? We've got the Queen on the podcast.
Says you. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good. I know you've already done your run and bike today, going for a swim after.
Swim left to do.
Word, that is
triple threat.
That is productive. It's only 12 o'clock.
I know.
And you've had to travel in.
I know.
Wow. So what were your workouts this morning?
Did the dreaded ramp test on Zwift.
Wow.
FTP went up.
Good.
Nice.
And then it was just like an easy 10k. So that's chilling. And then I'm going to go and do an open water swim, get some wetsuit practice in.
Wow. So what time are you getting up on a Tuesday morning?
Oh, I'm always up early, like 6:30. I never set an alarm. I just don't like sleeping.
Yeah.
I like being awake and being, experiencing life. So for me, it's not really an issue.
Nice. And I guess we should call out that you've still got your Ironman wristband on your wrist. So I guess we'll come on to that. But there's been some exciting things that you've been training towards, which has been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Shall we bring it all back and start at the beginning? How did you get into fitness?
Do you know, this is one of those questions where I always wish my story was different, because it's such a random, sounds made up almost. It's one of those stories where I hated PE, like worst subject in school, dreaded it. I remember Tuesdays were my most dreaded day because it was PE. Went to the sportiest university that there is, Loughborough, still didn't get into fitness. Never even went into the gym. Then I was doing some freelance illustrating, and I got like a random message from someone that I'd went to school with years ago asking if I would help them train. And I was like really kind of taken aback, because I was like, no, I'm not a gym person. I've never been to a gym in my life. And she was like, no, I really think that you could help me get into fitness and train. Anyway, there was a lot of back and forth. Later on that day, I signed up to the gym for the first time in my life, asked a few PTs in the gym as I walked in, like, could you just like briefly just explain what these machines are? They were like, this is for legs, this is for this is for that. I kind of like took in a little bit. And then 10 minutes later, she joined me and we had like our first gym session together, where I was trying to help her get into shape, even though I had no idea what I was doing.
That's such a bizarre message for her to send to you then, because that would be like me asking Anya, can you like teach me about history? And then Anya has to go and learn history first.
Honestly, it was so random. It was so bizarre. I sent a screenshot to my like group friend chat, and they were just dying laughing, thinking like, who does she think you are? And I was like, I've told her multiple times that I have no idea, and yet she still trusted me. It was so bizarre.
But it sounds like a great, it got you going.
Had she not sent me that message, I do not know if I would have ever stepped foot in the gym. I had like, before I received that message, it had never crossed my mind to enter a gym. Like, it had never crossed my mind.
So you enter the gym to basically get a 10-minute tutorial on how to teach your friend.
Yeah.
Then what happened next?
She wasn't even a good friend. She was just someone I went to school with. Like, it was just so random.
Do you think what happened on the other side is that she sent it to the wrong person? And now she's there just like stuck going to the gym with you like 5 years later.
I mean, that would probably be more realistic, but like, I don't know. But at the same time, I feel like it was such a blessing, because after that day, you know, we trained, I don't know, maybe like two or 3 months together, maybe once a week. Then I started realizing I actually enjoy this. Like, I was only going for her to try and help her. But then I realized, this is actually so much fun. So I stayed at that gym, and that was like the only gym I ever trained up until like a year ago, where I've now moved. But yeah,
wow,
that's
and
how it started.
So once you've kind of found your love of the gym, you've gone on to do some really cool things since.
Yes.
How did things develop?
So I think I think we've got to address, I started an Instagram account because there was me thinking, oh, if I can get into fitness at the age of 24, because for me that felt really old. Now it's not, because like, but at the time I just thought people start fitness so much earlier. They've already, they go at school, everyone was doing their gymnastics classes, or their parents would take them to play football, like all of these things. And I was just like not that sporty kid. So when I did join the gym and I started enjoying it, I thought, oh, maybe I can like inspire other people to start gymming like later on in life, which still makes me laugh now, because I'm thinking, I was only 24, but still for me, I felt like I was old to the game. So the Instagram account started off more food than fitness, really. And a lot of people would actually make the joke of like, why are you actually nutty foodie fitness? Like you're just nutty. You're nutty foodie. And I for a long time, I actually thought maybe I should get rid of fitness. And then I started getting more into fitness, and then more like the content kind of moved from fitness, from foodie based to fitness based. And then like YouTube started, but so many things happened after.
So very, very much kind of sharing your fitness journey in the gym.
Yeah.
And what was the kind of initial goal? Was it to be fitter? Was it to look a certain way? Like, what was it that was your like motivation?
My motivation was literally to have one of those like Pinterest looking pages. Like I had no intention of getting loads of followers or anything, but I just remember looking on Pinterest, and there used to be like, the sports bras laid out and everything all matching, and I just thought, oh, it's so cute. So I wanted to do that. I never like showed myself. It was more like my outfits and then food. And then obviously like everything changed, and then people started doing Instagram stories and like talking to the camera, because at first I was never actually showing myself. I was just kind of maybe showing the stack of pancakes that I just made. And then like later on it kind of turned, and then it became more about me personally, whereas before it was more just like, I don't know, like just more basic. I don't know, like it wasn't so personal really.
And so what was it that first took you out of the gym?
That took me out of the
As
gym?
in took you away from training inside the gym, got you running, got you doing, now we're doing, as we said, you've got your Ironman wristband on, and you're now 7 weeks away from the Ironman World Championships.
I am.
Like, what was it that got you into triathlon?
So I used to really enjoy doing random YouTube challenges. Okay. So it would excite me attempting, like one day I thought, imagine I just go outside and I run a half marathon. Like that would be so cool. Like, one of those people that like, I didn't really have the evidence to back up that I could do this, but for some reason I thought I could do it. Yeah. And so like I would go out, and I remember thinking, okay, like today I'm going to run a half marathon. And I ran a half marathon, and then it was like, okay, like what other things can I do? And I really enjoyed kind of blagging it. Like, where you have an idea, you go with it, and somehow you succeed. Like I really just enjoyed trying to put myself outside of my comfort zone and somehow winging it. But then it kind of got, I can't remember what challenge it was, but I was doing some sort of YouTube fitness challenge, and again, blagging, winging. And I remember thinking, like, something switched in my head that day, and I thought, like, imagine what I could actually do if I trained to do something. And it wasn't just like, today we're going to do a random challenge and let's see how we do, And I just thought, like, what could I actually do if I trained? Because at this point I had never had any sort of goal in terms of fitness, in terms of like aesthetic, physical, weights, like nothing. I'd literally go to the gym and just decide what I wanted to train. Like there was no split of, legs, upper. It was just, I was just enjoying myself. But then, it's like something changed, and I thought, how could I actually do if I trained? And so then, as you do, you Google like hardest like fitness challenge, and then like Ironman kept on coming up, and I thought, okay, right, well, that's it. I'm doing an Ironman. And
do an Ironman before the marathon?
the marathon was the training for the Ironman. So like we kind of went like from 0 to 100 pretty much last year.
It's so funny hearing you say that, because I did my first Ironman because at like midnight one night I googled what's the hardest thing to do in the world, and Ironman came up, so I signed up to an Ironman. Wow. And that was like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
And now I rarely go back to the gym because I enjoy being outside and running and cycling a lot more.
Yeah.
How has, so you kind of like decide to do the challenge and train for the Ironman, and obviously did a marathon in the lead up to it.
Yeah.
But how has it made you feel about like now training towards goals? Like, do you want to get back to just having fun and just turning up the gym and doing random stuff, or are you now like enjoying that structure?
I feel like now I've learned how much more fulfilling it is to train for something and achieve it rather than wing it and achieve it. Like, you can't compare how satisfying it is to literally put blood, sweat and tears into something day in, day out. And when you cross it, it's almost like the more pain, the better, because you know you've worked your arse off to get there. So,
and also you're not just like completing the challenge, because maybe when you're doing a challenge and winging it, you kind of like know the challenge is doable.
Yeah.
But you couldn't do that with the Ironman,
no,
because
you
like
can't.
you would not have got round.
Exactly.
So I think almost like knowing that now you can push yourself to doing a challenge that's much harder.
Yeah.
You really put in the work, then finishing feels that much more satisfying.
Yeah.
And so I guess like as you're doing these challenges, one of them was a half marathon. How did you find doing a first half marathon off little running training?
Do you know, it was actually very fine.
Yeah.
I think it's because I think I've always had quite a strong mindset, you know, like believe you can, and like you're halfway there, or the body achieves what the mind believes. And I remember like as I was running, like the things I was telling myself then a few years back are literally the things I tell myself now. Like, I think all of this has just been getting me to the position that I'm at now. And I think like you cannot underestimate how strong and powerful your mind is in doing these physical things. So like annoyingly, I found it pretty fine.
But it's also, I mean, you've got the mindset, but it wasn't also that you will have started a half marathon off no fitness. I mean, you've been going to the gym for a few years and you're doing all of this training, which is not necessarily the optimal structured training you should do.
It's not.
But it's also what then means you're strong enough to get around a half.
Exactly. I mean, there was no injuries, and like I remember, because I then also did the same thing but with a marathon, and I thought, I wonder if I could do a marathon. And I feel like I posted it on YouTube and the comments were very split. There was like half the comments were like, oh my god, that is insane, the fact that you just went out there and did a marathon. And then the other comments were like, you know, it's kind of what's the word,
Irresponsible.
A little bit irresponsible, but also like you know, for the people that actually train their arse off,
undermining it a little bit.
Exactly. And like now, because now I've done both, now I understand where that person was coming from, or like those people were coming from, because at the time I was like, well, like, you know, it was my own thing, it was my own challenge, I decided to do it, I did it. But now I do understand, because it takes so much hard work, well, to race a marathon, you know, versus just doing it. So
which one did you just do?
I did London.
So you were saying that just doing it was your 30, was it not 309 you did?
309. I've done two, by the way. So I did this year and I did last year. Whereas last year was more like, oh, I'm just excited to, you know, be in the buzz, because I'd gone to watch a really good friend of mine do it the year before. And you know, when you're spectating, you just think, oh, how cool would it be to run the London Marathon? So I signed up and like I raised money and did it with a charity the first time, but then I qualified the next time. So that's
the first time you did it without training properly.
Well, I mean, I was already training for the Ironman. Okay. However, there was no specific marathon training. I also got COVID the week before. I realized I hadn't done any like long runs. So 10 days out, I ran 28k. So, you know, like it wasn't optimal. It wasn't optimal at all. But for sure, I already had like crazy fitness with all the swimming, cycling and the running. So it wasn't like without training, whereas the YouTube one was without training.
So the the 2 London marathons.
Yes.
What were the 2 kind of like times you did just to kind of get a benchmark of?
I mean, I feel like I didn't really improve that much, but
Okay.
so the first one was 3:11 and then I did 3:09.
Wow.
But again, I think it's because my head has been so
Ironman.
into Nice World Champs. The Ironman was just like, okay, it's a bit of a training run for me. You know, the day after I was straight back to the gym and cycling. So, you know, there was no taper.
Wow. And so your first Ironman,
Yes.
that was, when did you do that?
That was October the 1st last year in Barcelona.
Oh, I'm doing Barcelona this year. And how long kind of from signing up did you
Yes.
have to train for Barcelona?
I think I had 9 months.
Okay.
But prior to that, I couldn't swim and I couldn't ride a bike.
Wow.
So we really started from the bottom.
And you kind of showcase that whole journey
Yeah.
through social media.
Yeah. It was, I feel like the riding a bike, like no one really gets it because I think a lot of people just think that everyone grows up riding a bike. I'm sorry, but I never rode a bike. Like, it would have made my boyfriend's life so much easier because he taught me how to ride a bike. Like, it would have really made the process a lot easier, but there was a lot of things I had to overcome even to get me to cycling. Like, the whole cycling on the road scared me shitless. Like, I didn't even attempt to cycle outside on my own. I think it was like a month out from Barcelona that I finally was like,
And there's so much that
Do
you kind of
this.
need to build up the confidence to, like even to like take a water bottle and drink
oh
while you're
my
cycling.
God,
Like,
I still don't even have that nailed.
oh really?
I still don't.
It's just like that would be such a barrier to entry for, and if you couldn't ride a bike, you wouldn't even consider doing
Yeah.
doing that.
To think you just signed up
Without even doing that. That's so crazy. And now you do loads of cycling.
Well, I've done quite a bit
You
now.
did
I
cycling
think
race this year.
I did.
How was that? I want to do it this year. Which one? So it was the what?
Stage 20, l'étape de Tour de France. Hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
And it's basically just uphill cycling one of the.
4,600 meters of elevation over 138 kilometers. So 4 mountains.
Isn't it
you have
always
the- you
the
have the
hardest
numbers.
climb of the Tour de France? They do that race.
Yes.
You have the
Yeah.
numbers ingrained in your head to the meter.
Oh, yes, I do. I can even tell you the distance of each climb. The first one was 10 kilometers, and I think maybe 10.2. The second one was 15 kilometers.
Wow.
Was it 20? Nah, I mean, what I'm trying to say is it was a grind.
Wow. And do you like cycling now, or does it still scare you?
It still scares me. Like standing on the start line of l'étape, I was absolutely petrified. I was crying because I was that scared, because I don't have the same confidence as I do in running as I do in cycling. Like I think it's obviously because I don't have that much experience.
Yeah.
It's like hard to go into something seeing like all these, like, I mean, there was very few women. I was 7% of females cycling. So it was like, I'm surrounded by all these grown men that seem like they've cycled their whole life, like proper, got all the gear, they're in their teams. And I'm thinking, what am I actually doing here? Like, what am I doing here? And I was just so scared of being on a climb and like not being able to keep going, wanting to come off, but then being unable to get back on because I can't clip back on whilst I'm going uphill.
I think that.
I was scared shitless.
But you did it.
But I did it.
And did you document that on YouTube?
I tried my best, but you know how hard it is. Do you know how hard it is to vlog whilst you're climbing a mountain? I was petrified. So as I got to the top of each mountain, I would like slowly take out my GoPro and I'm like, guys, I'm still alive. And I think every mountain just gave me evidence and experience and confidence for myself to take on the next climb. And I thought, if I can do the first one, which was like stupid elevation, I can do the second one, which although is double the distance, 20 kilometers worth of climbing, I know I can do it because I did steeper. So just had to keep on telling myself to keep going and not stop.
Wow. So I guess like with the Ironman, so you kind of learned to cycle.
Yeah.
You've learned to swim.
Yes.
How did the Ironman go?
It went amazingly. It was literally the best day of my entire life. I'm glad I was asked this question last week on another podcast, because when I answered it, I fully sobbed. So I feel like I've got the emotion out, but genuinely, 1st of October last year, best day of my entire life. And I came 10th and I qualified for the Ironman World Championships. Like, I just, like, the night before, I was looking at the cutoff times for the bike because I thought I wasn't going to make it.
That's crazy. A full Ironman. I remember watching people at Nice finishing the full Ironman, and it's like there's nothing behind the eyes. It's like a zombie run. Like, it's a full Ironman is so different to a 70.3.
And I guess presumably that like finish line, running down the red carpet, must have felt incredible, knowing how much you'd had to like overcome, learning to cycle, learning to swim.
It was amazing. But the one thing that I knew, like, it's so weird, but like, if I compare L'Etape de Tour de France, I was scared shitless because I didn't know what the outcome would be. But for some reason, like, I knew, like, the day I woke up, I literally said, like, today, like, I said it with 100% full confidence. I said, today is going to be the best day of my entire life because today I'm going to become an Ironman. And I was running, like, I'm going to get emotional now. I think it was like maybe 10K into the run. And I just remember screaming to my family, like, I'm going to be a freaking Ironman. And like, they were like, yes, let's go. And like, it's just like, you know, in that moment, you just know. And even at the start of the race, I knew that I was going to accomplish it because I had put in everything into it, you know?
It's amazing. Like, your whole mindset just like shifted when you decided you were going to start training for things. Because I remember you from like the beginning of YouTube days when everyone would do those challenges, which is like, obviously it's great and it's like, but it's so different to like training for an Ironman. But like the 10,000 calorie challenges and eating like The Rock, and like that seems so distant. But I guess it's just everyone's followed that same progression.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a different person. Like when I look back to like, all you've got to do is go on my YouTube and like go from the start, and you just see like the winger, the person that winged it, that had fitness in her name that really didn't deserve it, to then like, no, like I have earned the right to have fitness in Nutty Foodie Fitness now.
Massively. But I also used to look at your YouTube and be like, obviously you're like built like a goddess, like you're completely ripped. But I was like, it helped a lot of girls, and especially when people start getting into fitness and maybe it's a bit unhealthy, or like their habits can become unhealthy. But like, I'm like, oh, like you only ate carbs for a whole day and nothing changed, and you only ate junk food for a day and nothing changed. Like you've been helping a lot of people from the beginning. You're still inspiring loads of people. Was that kind of the goal of those challenges at the start of YouTube?
Honestly, I just enjoy eating. So I was really just, finding these challenges, having a great time. But it was only when I started reading comments that I started realizing that like I am making people feel more comfortable around food. And for me, it was like really strange because I've loved food my whole life. I mean, I'm half Indian, half Spanish, and I think both cultures just love food and just enjoy the whole socializing and just eating over hours and hours. So like for me, it was just like, this is so normal to me. And I kind of couldn't understand why people were saying like, I put your YouTube videos on whilst I'm eating because it helps me. And like, I just didn't really get it at the start. But then I realized like maybe I am helping people feel a lot more comfortable around food. It wasn't my goal, but then as a result, I started making a lot more food content because I realized, well, I like eating. And if I'm also going to help people by filming these videos, then why the heck am I not going to do that? So that's why I think that's how my YouTube channel evolved, because that was also not my intention. I only made my YouTube channel to post the 10,000 calorie challenge. That was the only reason I made it. And I carried on because I realized like, there's a bit of an audience here.
And do you find that now having that audience helps, or does it create pressure, or how do you feel with that pressure?
My nutty nation is what I like to refer to as my audience, and I don't think I ever feel a pressure. I feel like excitement to share things that I'm doing with them. Like when I first signed up to the Ironman, I did wonder whether people would even care, like would they be interested in following this whole thing, but actually people have been really invested in it. It's been like so nice to have an audience there, but also like to kind of like lean on them, because like, you know, endurance training is like quite a lonely thing, and I didn't have many people to talk to about it. I feel like now Ironman's become quite a bit more popular, but at the time, like no one really knew. Like even my friends didn't know what I was doing. Like, you know, I told them I've signed up for an Ironman, and they were like, what is that? And I'm like,
another one of our silly challenges.
I was just, just like, well, it's just, you know, it's a long distance thing. And they were like, oh, cool. Well, you've got this, because you always do. But it was like, it was actually really bloody hard. And there was like no one really, like I felt like I sometimes I really just wanted to talk to someone about it, just like the experience, just about everything. And that's why it was like, thank goodness I have my nutty nationers, because, you know, I put a video out and then there's comments, there's interaction, there's DMs, you know, I bump into people and straight away they'll just be like, you're training, like you're doing amazing. And I'm just like, thank you, like it means a lot, you know.
Hey guys, just a little note from us. Anya and I are so excited that we managed to hit the #1 spot in the UK in the running podcast charts. So as a little bit of a thank you to all of our loyal podcast listeners, we managed to organise 15% off all of our Runner merchandise. So head to the Runner website, and if you use the code, all one word, all caps lock, MyFastSocks, you'll get 15% off any of our items on the store. So thank you for listening, and go and enjoy, go and get your hands on some Runner merchandise. That's amazing. And so I guess you finished the Ironman.
Yes.
What comes next? Like, obviously we know what you've got coming up, but like, what were you expecting to feel at the end of it? And
I genuinely thought, done, get the tattoo, like that. It was just like a bucket list thing. Did you get the tattoo? The tattoo?
Nice.
Got it?
Got mine as well. You'll get yours one day.
Trust me, it's worth it just for that. It's worth it just for that. My plan was, you know, after the Ironman, like I'm done, I'm going back to the gym, because I enjoy that too. I had neglected it a bit because it's just a lot to balance. And then, you know, I qualified, and it took me quite a lot of time weighing up like whether to do it, whether to not, to decide if I actually wanted to take up the place. I know like in the Ironman you have to just immediately sign up, otherwise you don't have that option, but I always thought I'd rather lose the money than regret not taking it. So I did
this
take
is the Ironman
spot.
World Championships.
Yeah.
So for context, as soon as you finish, the prize giving is the next day.
Yeah, the next day.
And then they award out the places of which you qualify. You have to pay for your place there and then.
Yes.
So you paid for your place knowing that you could like not turn up. Kind of
I also had, can I just add, like 30 seconds to register because my taxi was waiting outside to go to the airport. Like the timing was like I didn't think, like we were even thinking, I don't think we can even make it to the awards. And I was like we should go. And like luckily we did. But like it was so tight, and had they maybe mentioned the males first before the females, I would have had to miss it and get the cab and go. So luckily I did take the position, and then a few months later after a lot of thinking, like a lot, and I think like my followers really helped me in making this decision. I think they weren't pressurizing me, but they were very much like, you know, opening my eyes to the fact that people like train years and years to even have this opportunity, and I literally have it right now, and you never know what can happen in life, and it's just like I have this opportunity right now, and like for sure I loved the Ironman. It's not like I finished the race and I was like never again. I literally finished it and I was like, I should have run faster. Like, you know, it was just so exciting. I didn't even go to sleep that night because I just wanted to like relive everything. So yeah, it took a lot of thinking just because of the sacrifice that it takes. but we decided to do it. So yeah, now like everything after that then became, okay, now we get into another kind of training block. But this time round, it's been a lot more balanced, I think. Like the first time was very much swim, bike, run, repeat. Whereas swim, bike, run, repeat, but also social life has been mixed in there. I think like the first one's always going to be harder, especially if you're learning 2 out of the 3 disciplines. Whereas now I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. So it's been I don't think easy is the right word, but more manageable.
So 7 weeks and you'll be doing Ironman number 2 in Nice. Very exciting. Very exciting.
Good luck.
That is absolutely amazing.
Watch.
So you've done the Nice half Ironman.
Yes. Yeah.
And how was that?
Well, it's just hilly, but you've done climbs now. It's just big climbs.
Yeah.
It's hard. And that really, I didn't, because I also, obviously it was a short distance, but I did a try this weekend. My stomach was absolutely fine this weekend. Trying to fuel properly on those climbs, my stomach was a mess by the time I did the run. It's really different. And the sea swim, probably swallow a bit of salt water.
Yeah.
You'll smash it though.
Electrolytes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, that is so exciting. We cannot wait to see and hear how you get on. I guess what would be kind of like one thing you would tell your younger self or tell someone at the start of their fitness journey, regardless of what they're working towards, of doing something that you've learned?
I mean, like, it's just like ironic almost, because like the things I tell myself now and that I tell other people is like, was so missing when I was younger, because I was super shy, super introverted, hated anything sport related, just because I never thought I was capable. I actually thought I was absolutely shite at anything to do with fitness. So like now I would obviously tell myself, of course I'm bloody capable, but I just never tried. I think I was scared of trying and failing. So that always held me back, because, you know, if you don't try, then you have no idea how you could actually do. So I would tell Steph that you are, bloody capable of anything that you want to achieve in this life.
And anything's possible.
Anything.
That's what they tell you when you finish your Ironman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Ironman motto. Anything's possible.
Anything is possible. Trust me, if I, Stephanie Joshi, can become an Ironman, like if you were to go back to my school and speak to my PE teachers and they said, name one person that you think amongst the students, one pupil that you think would never, ever, ever do anything fitness related, I guarantee you they would say Stephanie Joshi.
It's crazy.
I love hearing that, because I think my PE teachers would say the same.
Really? Were you not sporty either?
No. I'm very, very similar. I went to the gym, thought I'd sign up for an Ironman because I Googled it one night, and now I really like it and I'm going to do lots more.
Wow.
But no, that is, it's amazing to hear, and what an epic roller coaster, and we cannot wait to see how you get on in Nice. We're now going to segue over to Steph, who's going to come in with our coaching tip of the week.
My top tip today is on race nerves. Race day nerves are so common, but we want to channel these and turn them into excitement. To help settle your anxiety, plan out your race and be organised in advance. What's your racing plan? What pace are you going to start at? When will you pick it up? What's your fueling plan? The more you can control, the less you have to think about on race day. You can simply execute your plan, which will help distract from the pain of racing.
Thank you so much for that, Steph. We now have a dilemma sent in from a runner user for us to discuss. So this one is, only running will make me a better runner. I'm scared to do any other exercise, cross-training or gym work, as I'm worried it will not be as beneficial for my running progress. Although I'm getting really bored and not seeing much run progress anyway. Help.
Well, this couldn't be more fitting given that we're having such a triathlon-focused episode. But yeah, I think like very much like it's very well known that cross-training is very, very productive for us runners. So if all we do is running, we're probably not doing any mobility, we're probably not doing any strength, and we're also not doing any other forms of cardiovascular exercise, all of which are going to be really valuable. So we want to do strength training because that's going to make us stronger to then be able to absorb the impact of running, which is a very kind of impact heavy sport, and is also going to make us more powerful to be able to run faster. So it's really valuable for those reasons. We ought to be doing some mobility work to make sure we're keeping our muscles with a really good range of motion, again, reducing our risks of injury. And then also things like swimming and cycling, so other forms of cardiovascular exercise, are a great way to strengthen our heart and lungs and also work our muscles without taking that impact. So for all of those reasons is why we should look to do things outside of running. But then I think probably the biggest reason why I find enjoyment in other forms of exercise as well is the kind of the mental freedom it gives us. If all you do to unlock endorphins and to be healthy is run, and you have a sore ankle because you roll your ankle, or doing something's playing up and you can't run, for me, I'd then get sad. Whereas if I've got a sore ankle, I could probably still go cycling. And if I couldn't go cycling or running, I could definitely go swimming. And then I could probably go to the gym and maybe lift some upper body if I've got a sore ankle. So I think like having variety is really valuable from a mental perspective as well as a physical perspective. And then again, like you've got your bad ankle and you can't run for a month, you can nail it in the pool and you can really like look to see progress there. So I think it is productive from your running, but at the same time, I think mentally it's really valuable as well. So that would be kind of my advice if there's anything you guys want to add to that.
I think like if you want to get good at something, you've got to enjoy it. Like enjoyment, for me anyway, enjoyment is up there, because if you enjoy something, you're consistent at it. And I think like having the break of like, you know, you do your run on a Monday and then maybe your intervals is on a Thursday. You've got that time in between to get yourself excited, get yourself ready for that interval session. Like I couldn't think of anything worse than running every single day consecutively, because you're not like, where's the excitement to show up for it? Because there's no break. So I definitely think that by introducing other forms of exercise, for sure strength training, because you want to avoid the injuries.
Yeah.
I would be.
And I think that's also probably looking back at your journey, why you're able just to jump in with a half marathon.
Touch wood, no injuries.
Because you were so strong.
Exactly.
And I had a similar kind of starting point with a huge gym background. Getting into running helped massively. And I think to the same point, it's got to be this thing that we love. And so if you hate cycling and you hate swimming, you probably don't need to go do lots of swimming and cycling. Yeah. Obviously, we'd still suggest doing some strength, doing some mobility work to keep you running all the time, but work out what you enjoy. Yeah. But ideally, doing like the strongest runners out there are not going to run 7 times a week and do nothing else. They're going to do some complementary movements. So hopefully that helps you. And especially if you're finding the running's getting a bit repetitive, all the more reason to go and find something to add to it to keep the running exciting and fun, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, I would also just add one more thing, that with running, more isn't always more. You know, like you can definitely overdo it. So yeah, rein it in.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, we're going to go into our this or that. So our first one for you.
Is there a jingle on the this or that?
Yeah, Anya's now going to sing while I ask the question. So
this or that, this or that.
there isn't normally a jingle in there.
And you stick to running.
and there won't be again. No one needs to hear that. So this or that. We know you like your peanut butter.
Oh, I love my peanut butter.
Would you rather never, ever, ever have peanut butter ever again? Or in every meal that you ever have for the rest of your life, there must be peanut butter?
The latter. Every single meal, there will be peanut butter. Absolutely.
Or even like doing a pasta and tomato sauce?
But do you know how well peanut butter goes with the... Have you never had peanut butter in a pasta?
Not in pasta.
Even in a curry.
With curry.
You know,
well, yeah, but
it works.
I agree that we use peanut butter to cook, or peanuts, or like, yeah, peanut in some things, like on pancakes or in like a chicken katsu or something, or like, I don't know. But like a lasagna, can't really imagine peanut butter in there.
We can make it work. There's so much versatility.
Where does it go? Is it a whole layer by itself?
I actually don't think so. I think maybe we add it to make it a little bit more creamy.
Well, like the sauce.
The sauce.
The
bechamel sauce. Also, you've got to think about, there's different types of peanut butters. You know, you've got your sweet, you've got your Skippies, you've got your, you know, the roast ones, the Manny Life, which is really deep, dark. So
which one of them goes with lasagna?
I think the Manny Life.
Okay.
The Manny Life.
You do know your peanut butter.
I know my peanut butter.
I feel like we need to find a food that just could not go.
No.
What about paella?
Little drizzle.
What about calamari?
Dipping sauce.
Yeah, dipping sauce. You know, I once in a YouTube video, I tried a gherkin sandwich with peanut butter, and I actually came to the conclusion that it worked. Because you've got like the pickle, and then it's like it kind of like
Sour pickle.
Okay, well, I think that you've defended your answer well enough to the fact that you've had peanut butter pickle sandwiches. That means that I think you can have this one.
yeah, nutty is remaining in my name. Yeah.
What about you, Anya? How are you walking away from peanut butter?
I do really love peanut
Yeah,
butter.
I like peanut butter too.
I do think you could have it. I'm a really saucy person. I like sauce with everything. I could probably have peanut butter with everything.
Okay. So you're having peanut butter with everything.
I could. Yeah.
I love peanut butter and I eat it with a spoon,
Yeah.
but I think I would be prepared to have my lasagnas peanut free. So I'm going peanutless.
Sad
Wow.
life.
Sad life.
For you.
Wow. Right. Okay. Maybe back to our exercise content. Would you rather all of your swims from now on are in a pool with 10 people in your lane,
Which they are now. Yeah.
or you have to do your next Ironman bike leg on a tandem
Oh.
with Anya on the back?
Oh. Do you know, because I've managed so far, like we're 7 weeks out, and I have managed to do my pool swims with 10 plus people in my pool. You know, I'll hold on just that little bit more, and I'll go with the 10 in the lane.
And the last thing you want is annoying Anya stuck in the back of your bike for 6 hours.
Yeah. I don't think that'd be very helpful. I'd pretend to be like pushing really hard at the back and not be giving much.
Because I would want you for the run, you know, like maybe like
A running tandem.
could I keep
If you
could
got
I
like
keep
an
Anya?
elastic band and she kind of like a little horse turning things.
Like
No,
a
or
husky.
piggyback, and I just run. No,
Yeah,
you run.
Yeah,
and
I agree to it. Yeah, okay.
She's quite good at running, but I don't know if she's the champion
She's
piggyback
elite.
carrier.
Impossible is nothing.
It's so true.
Okay, well, last one. Given that we're in Olympic season, would you rather win 5 silver gold medals? Oh, sorry, that doesn't make sense. Win a silver medal 5 times
Yes,
or 1 gold medal?
1 gold medal.
Fair. Going all out.
Yeah, I just think. Because then, if I was to go for the silvers, then it's like, oh, we've got work to do. We'll go back in there. Whereas that could be the end of that chapter, and then it's move on to the next challenge. So
Okay.
that's what I'd go.
What about you, Anya?
I did hear this thing that there was like a psychology report, and it was like people with silver medals are really harsh on themselves, because if you have a bronze medal, you're just really grateful you got a medal. Whereas if you get a silver medal, you always think you could have done more to get the gold.
That's really interesting.
What about you?
Well, there is gold medal syndrome that so you win, as in, so like, it's not just isolated to like the Olympics, but like when you complete your goal of your lifetime, then like the next day, like what do you do? As in, like, imagine that you win the Nice Ironman World Championships and then you retire from Ironman. You'll always kind of like lose that drive that you have right now every day going and training. That like, to some extent, you can also go and get gold and then have like, that's the thing you've been working for 10, 15 years, and then you almost don't know what to do with yourself. I think maybe just being the type of person I am, I think I would want the silver for five times, because in the Olympics I have 20 years. So that's 20 years of drive and
The
focus.
same, yeah.
Well, and if I did lots of sports.
Yeah.
It's really, I don't have that much going for me, I mean. But no, so I think I'm going silver and consistency, but no, we're cheering for you to go get gold at the next Olympics.
No, I can't do too good though, because then there's the syndrome.
Okay.
So I've got
Okay, so
just like,
have you been converted? Are you now back to silvers? Please.
no, but like for I'll just bear that in mind when I do Nice World Champs. Like I'll bear that in mind.
I really hope I
do
haven't-
well, but not too well.
I hope I haven't slowed you down. That you're not just going to like.
Imagine.
This is going great. I better just go and take 5.
If my T1 takes 10 minutes, it's because Ben told me that not to go too hard.
Right. Well, right. Really. Right. I've screwed it here. Right. Do you want to tell us our embarrassing story of the weekend? Yeah.
Yes, and then if you have an embarrassing story, we'd love to hear it. I was taking part in the Ultra X Goes Loopy race. I had to duck out into the woods to take care of business, if you will. It was cloudy, so even with only sparse... Oh my God. It was cloudy, so even with only sparse bush covering me, I thought I was safe. It was difficult to see anything other than someone in Nike neon Volt clothing, squatting just off the course, which was caught, if you look carefully, in loads of the background photos of multiple public highlights.
Oh, what? So they've done their toilet business in the view of the course photographer.
Yeah, and they thought they were safe, but they were in neon clothing.
Wow. I feel like they've only gone and ruined everyone else's race photos.
That'd be great for engagement though on Instagram. The comments would be kicking off.
So Nike's share price has really fallen lately, like big time.
Why?
And it's like all over the news that maybe this person has something to do with it.
I'm actually thinking I've got a similar story. No, it's not similar at all. Near my house in Norfolk is like an army base, and I was on a run in the army base, and I remember squatting down to go for a wee, and literally I looked up and like the bushes started moving, and there were people in the army base that were obviously in full camouflage, and I was like,
Oh
they've
my
just
God.
watched me do this. And I forgot all about that. That was like in lockdown.
Well, so you went to the loo behind a bush, and the bush was just a human.
The bush is far distance, but suddenly then people start like scurrying, like just in like the same colour as the
Can
woods.
you imagine Anya just goes and squats down by this bush, and then the bush is like, oh, do you want some of my... The bush is like, would you like loo roll, Anya? And it just starts talking to you. Wow, do you have any embarrassing running stories you want to share? It's a safe place. No one's listening.
But I feel like now, like it's these things aren't even embarrassing. Like
They're just funny.
Like, you know, you do an Ironman, like in all the, I think I've done 5 now. Well, like not full, but like 70.3s, like, you know, T1. Because I really struggle with like being relaxed enough in the swim to pee. And I always think like try, but like it doesn't happen. So then it gets to T1 and I'm like, right. So I just sit myself down and then like, and I'm just like, I feel like it's fine, you know, like no one's really judging you. Well, I hope not. Like, I hope that people listening.
I feel like there might be a few listeners judging, because I feel like triathlon's a different sport. Like triathlon, it's kind of acceptable to like wet yourself.
Yeah, well, that was my.
But I feel like running is like, you probably should just pull over to a bush and go for a pee on a sniper in the bush.
Yeah.
I mean, I have also nailed the art of now weeing while cycling. So I will kind of like wait for a downhill where I don't need to pedal, and I kind of like angle myself off the side of the bike and
might try this in Nice.
I wouldn't do that on like a normal, like I wouldn't commute to the office and like pee in London.
Just to test
but
it out.
I will do that in a race. In a triathlon race. I feel like I think because you start in doing water and you get wet, then it kind of makes you feel less bad about it. I wouldn't be in a cycle race and just piss on the guy behind me. And also in a triathlon, you have to like be 10 meters apart. So then you kind of probably can't wee on the person next to you, which does make it.
I have heard stories though of like someone peeing ahead of someone else on the bike and they're literally getting splattered. So
Well, there we are then. That's why you shouldn't get into triathlon,
Don't do it in
kids.
tandem.
Wow, there we go. Well, we have our final question of the podcast, which is our favourite and probably the silliest. So you're on the start line of your next marathon, and you're totally naked, but you can bring 3 things.
okay,
What are your 3 things?
and I'm racing this marathon.
You're racing this marathon, London Marathon 3.0, and you want the fastest time you can get, but you're naked. You got 3 things.
And so clothes isn't allowed.
Well, you can choose them if you want,
Oh. Ooh.
but it is London Marathon. There are thousands of people watching.
Okay, so I think I'll just go for some shorts. You know,
Okay,
the shorts 2-in-1, so you don't even need
Okay.
underwear. You've got shorts on.
You have one item gone.
Yeah, and then, well, I'm gonna wear a sports bra.
Okay, 2 items gone.
I need carbon trainers. I need my trainers.
Okay.
Yeah,
No-
we're going Alpha Flight.
No watch.
No watch.
No sunglasses.
No sunglasses.
No peanut butter.
No. Although, like, a hairband would really be
Yeah, your hair's down.
up there.
Wait, so you're
What?
going carbon shoes over a hairband?
Oh, what if carbon trainers are on?
Well, you're going to take the laces out?
Taking the laces,
No,
tying up my hair.
that is genius.
That's good.
That
There
is
we
very
go, yeah.
good.
To be
We'll
fair,
go
the
that.
alpha flies, you don't really need the laces.
But also,
No, you don't.
But you've also got 2 laces, so you could use one for your hair.
And the other one is an accessory.
You could use the other one to tie yourself to Anya, and then she pulls you along.
So
Yes. Brilliant.
Okay, so you're in sports bra, shorts, alpha flies without laces, and the laces are in your hair.
Yes.
Perfect.
But then do we not need the bib number?
Oh, I think that's...
Because otherwise the other lace...
I think you get your bib number.
But the other lace can obviously, we can
Tie it on.
attach. Yeah. Because I do want my race photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
And also, by having your race number, you then get your chip time, which you can then upload to Strava after.
Yes. Because otherwise...
Otherwise, it doesn't count.
Oh, no, it didn't count because we didn't have the watch. But we do have the chip. We do have the chip. Yeah, we have the chip.
So you've done the math.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
That is genius.
That really stressed you out, and I'm like, it's not actually happening. You
No,
don't
but
actually
it's
have
still
to do
stressful.
that.
It's stressful.
I'm looking forward to doing my next marathon since we've been asking everyone these questions and being there on the start line with like 5 things and being like, what a privilege. all of these goodies. I've got my clothes and I've got my watch and my shoes and my sunglasses and my gels, and I'll feel so grateful.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the gels, but no, we're
But
good.
so long as you got your hairband, it doesn't matter about the gels.
Because that would be so annoying. Can you
It would
imagine?
be. Yeah.
What about you guys?
Well, Anya has nailed it with.
Well, I thought you'd be this.
Oh,
Why
'cause
didn't you
you're
just wear a
going all in
tracksuit?
one, aren't you?
Yeah.
All in
Why
one.
didn't you just do
I
it all
did
in
think
one?
of that, but you don't want to wear something that you've never tested out prior.
You could also. You've got 7 weeks. Well, you this is hypothetical. You could still practice wearing.
Yeah, but I was on the start line naked. I didn't have time, did I? I didn't have time. Like, oh, let me test that out.
You really jumped. You method acting here. You jumped into it. Everyone's looking.
I was literally expecting the countdown, the pros have just gone. Where I'm behind,
You're literally
and it's time to go. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. But right, so that did cross my mind. But because I've never
So presumably
tested that
you're
out,
putting on your shorts and your sports bra quickly, then you'll delace the shoes and do your hair.
yeah,
Because you wouldn't want to do it the other way around and just be naked while you do your hair.
no, exactly,
okay, got you.
yeah,
Nice. Good. Well,
What you
that
going?
was pretty well thought out.
yeah.
Well done.
Whew.
I think you're ranking very highly on the kind of good choices that guests
Yeah.
have made.
Thank you.
We've had polls as one of the 3 items recently.
Sorry, you've had
Poles, walking poles, running poles.
polls.
For
It's a marathon, not a hike.
It's also not a fashion contest. You don't do up your hair.
No, but that's
Okay.
performance.
Okay, that's
that's
aerodynamics.
performance. Yeah, because you don't. You just, no.
Yeah, okay. Well, there we are.
Wait, but can I please know your answer?
Oh yeah. So Anya, what's yours?
Carbon shoes, all-in-one, and a watch. Yeah.
I'm carbon shoes, sunglasses, and my watch. But I'm hairy, so it's.
You know the thing there is raw dogging a marathon, so you basically have nothing but the essentials. You got a raw dog.
Well, obviously we've inspired that movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So raw because it stems from being on a plane, right?
Yeah, I think
Where
it's
you
all
sit
the
on a
same
plane, and it's this trend where you sit on a plane and all you do is sit in your seat, and you don't go on your phone, you don't watch a movie, and all you're allowed to do is look at the flight card of the people will do the 12-hour flights.
Oh no.
But so what? Running a marathon where you just have nothing and you just
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Well, there we are. That is the Runna Podcast for you.
Thank you very much for coming on.
I really enjoyed that, especially the random questions.
Yeah, we could. I feel like we could have kept going there. But no, thank you so much for coming on, and we will be very eagerly watching to see how you get on in Nice, and a
Thank
huge
you
good
so
luck
much.
with everything that you get up to in your fitness journey thereafter as well.
Thank you so much.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Runna. If you want to train for any running goal, please download the app, and don't forget you can use the code Runna Podcast for a 2-week free trial.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, share, follow, do all of that nonsense, and we'll be back here next week. And if you want to be featured, send us your embarrassing running story. Either send us a voice note on Instagram or send us an email to podcast@runner.com so that we can have a good laugh at your expense in Runner HQ and share it on one of the next episodes.